like now it's here. One of the things that we've done too is like we have also limited, like you said, holidays, different things like that is a little bit more like, hey, this is about a social gathering, about connection, and about some of these things, and it's okay to use food for pleasure in that way from time to time, not like every day. So like we will pull back. Availability is another big tool, so portion size and availability. If there's not cookies around, one of the things that we do during the week, and we say it like during the week, you can always have more fruit. You can like that's always a green light. Anytime. Like if you decide that maybe you're still in my family, if you're still like, and it depends on their ages. If you're still hungry after you like tried out your plate and gave it a good shot, they can sometimes we'll do like fruit, or like we'll have fruit as dessert, but we'll use whipped cream. Or I'll throw a graham cracker. Like last night I did cut up bananas with a little bit of whipped cream and half a graham cracker in there. And they thought that was like the greatest thing. But it's just fruit, really. So like when you think about also, or like a yogurt or something. So it's like you can pick a yogurt or you can pick, I mean, and I don't mean like, I mean they try, but I don't mean like the M&M yogurt. I mean like, you know, like a legit, you know, decent, valuable. I mean, those can be valuable in their own way. But I think that some of those are also good strategies, or making smoothies that are popsicles are another one that like they like. So when you change even what's available as a like sweeter choice sometimes, and then still promoting like a healthier food, that also can be helpful. And yeah, I mean, I do find, like I said, I will find that there are times where I'm like, no, we really have to make sure that you're getting what you need for your body, so I need you to try to take a few more bites. And if there are sweets available, those won't necessarily, there are components, like Eat and Color, if you follow that on Instagram, she says put it right in with the rest of the food. It's just another part of the rest of the food, because there's no hierarchy to it. But you do a small portion of it. I don't find that always works for my family, because for lots of reasons. But sometimes it really does. So I think it's, yeah. All right. Hey, Eric.
Thanks for coming.
Sure. Anybody else? Well, awesome. So I actually brought some goodies for you guys. So I'm going to hand out a couple of things. I just got back from FNCE, which is our big food and nutrition conference, which means like they give us all kinds of free stuff. So I'll give you a couple of things that I come around to try out with your crew. And you ask for a plate. Here you go, a little magnet for you guys. So let me know if you have any questions. Feel free to follow up with those resources. But this Saturday, we are doing, I teach bar and Pilates and all those fun classes, and we are doing a free event at Leverington this Saturday that is going to have both me and another nutritionist, and then I think there's like 6 or 7 trainers that are actually going to do like workouts and movement activities for both the kids and the adults. So you're welcome to bring your kids and come along, and it's just another fun thing. And we're going to do some samples and foods and things. So feel free to join us. Yeah.
I'm sorry, this is late to the game, but I was thinking about it the whole time. I do want to. I don't know if it's that I specifically want to know, but I think for myself and just like that yo-yo body of like multiple pregnancies or even just one, where do you begin with like mindful eating? I know that's like a thing now where people are like, let me just focus in. But like when I did it, I gained close to 70 pounds with each pregnancy, and I don't know how, because my mom is like crunchy hippie lady who we had the weirdest lunches and all the, like we didn't have sweets, and she raised us on vegetables, so like I knew better, but I was like cheesesteaks, hoagies, like anything, let's go, because those fats, so it's like let's put the fat into the baby and like give them a good brain and like just eat in the name of pregnancy and nursing. So I did, and then I felt like this summer something happened where I was so guilt-ridden over what I was eating at the beach because I had finally lost weight, and then we had a beach trip and I just felt awful. And got home and realized I actually lost weight. I was like, what is wrong with us in our minds that we're just on this horrible cycle of like perfection and what I guess for anyone here and for me to continue, like what is a good beginner's track to being mindful and to like recognizing like am I eating, like am I hiding away and eating, or am I finally having a moment to myself, like what can we do to like press on and to, or to start.
Yeah. So the first thing I think really is awareness, right? So it's acknowledging the fact that like, oh my goodness, like where did that come from? Like why am I doing this in that way? That seems to be sabotaging in some ways. And yet it's powerful, right? So like what are all those things that lead? I think everybody's bodies are really unique and different. So I mentioned like, I personally have a certain way of doing things that I've learned over the years. I mean, I was after my fourth and teaching like 5 or 6 classes a week and eating fairly well, not perfect. I mean, a glass of wine from time to time, but fairly well, pretty close to what I knew, and wasn't moving an inch.
Yeah.
And so there were things I had to change biologically that like, the thing is like, we don't realize it, but like insulin is a hormone. And when we have these cycles and we have multiple babies and we have all this other stuff going on, our body is responding to food maybe differently than it did at 20 years old. And that's something that like when you go to the doctors and they say like, just eat better and exercise more, you just want to be like, oh, like that is such a mean thing to say to me. Like it's not that simple. I've tried that. And so I think that that's also where it is sometimes reaching out to more support, whether it's, a dietitian, which most insurance does cover, to work with somebody who can say, hey, here's like step 1. As far as actual practical, this is what's going on with your body, like because some people are more insulin resistant and other people are not, and need to do other things to like strengthen the amount of energy that they're getting. So there's just different things that I would do. But as far as the mindset around it, I think one of the things is really keying into like, first of all, your body's doing amazing things, and not to feel the guilt around the weight gain, which is a really, really hard process. One of the things for me that I felt and how I would communicate it is because of being pregnant or nursing for so long, I craved normalcy in my body. Like looking like the human being I looked like. It didn't matter. I wasn't talking about like a size or anything. It was literally like no one's in or on my body in some way, like, and I feel like somehow that I have me again. Like, it's just, that was more about it. Like, for me, that really empowered me to say, in order to do that, there might be some other steps I need to take, and so I did. But it started with rejecting this sense of like, I have to diet, or I have to like punish myself, or I have to, you know what, that's it. No more of blah, 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 blah. Anytime you hear your body or your mind going that direction, be like, no, like, that's dangerous, because it slingshots you. Instead of taking a bite of pizza, we're like eating the whole pizza. So it's like, how do we keep a good, healthy mindset that we are like captivating, beautiful creatures that God created, not with mistakes and, damage, but that we are amazing, and allow that to be the beginning of the journey instead of the end of the journey. Because we're like, I'll feel like that when I'm
right.
But like being able to go, no, like I am captivating. I was created that way, and I just had this beautiful child, and that is really hard because I feel different, and I don't even feel like myself. And when I look in the pictures, they don't look like me in the same way, and that took like a lot of heart work too, even some journaling and stuff. But I think that then coming back to that place of really knowing who I am in Christ, and knowing that like this is not, and that food doesn't need to be an idol in my life. It doesn't need to be a crutch in my life. Like it's not that powerful. It takes the power away from food, and it's like gives it back. I'm like, Lord, this is yours too. So I think sometimes it's resetting the power that we give it, because that's the stuff that sometimes really sabotages us. And like you said, like the guilt and stuff, that's more damaging than the food that you eat.
Right. I spent time being angry over something that wasn't even a thing, and when I got home and realized, like, it's okay. I like it, and it wasn't even some crazy indulgence, but like the practices that we've had for so many years, and maybe not even knowing, or just wanting to be normal. But thank you. Like, yeah, just bringing it under the Lord. And like, I also wanted to know if there was at least one documentary on Netflix, because there's so many great ones, that you would recommend to like start knowing more. Because I think when we know more about our hormones, then
Yeah, I mean, I guess that could just be a whole nother talk.
okay, then never mind. I didn't know if there was
We
like.
just have to like plan a whole other thing. And really, there's so much I've learned in the process of metabolic health for myself. And I mean, I have 3 or 4 friends that have had over 3 kids that are dietitians and that they're fitness instructors, and our journey is not that different, and it is just as challenging. And that made me realize that it's not that simple.
Yeah.
Like, we are doing that, and it's not that simple. There's more to it than that. And it doesn't mean this is a mysterious thing that we can't overcome. It's just like it is kind of keying into some of the cues in our body that you can do more of that with just really working with somebody to kind of figure those things out. Like looking for some of the things that would be indicators that your body's doing better with certain things than others. And some are sabotaging you more than others. But other than that, but it's also still not letting your mind get to where, like I said, I mean, I still absolutely have carbohydrates and have other things that are nourishing my body, but because if not, then it becomes a real weird, space where I'm like, that becomes powerful. So I agree with you. I think it's kind of finding that. Netflix-wise, I mean, I love, but this isn't helpful, I love the documentary Rotten. It's super interesting. Has anybody seen it? Mm-hmm. No? It's super interesting about the food industry, and it goes through it will blow your mind. When I'm talking about knowing where your food comes from, hopefully you won't have any mom guilt over it, but it's just interesting to me. I would avoid what the health, if anybody is. I'm all about sustainability, and I actually do a lot of work with food rescue and food waste, and ran a nonprofit for that. But I don't like fear mongering around food, and I really don't like people that try to fear monger. I'm all about plant-based, and I think that there are really good ways of doing it. I also think that most of us are not vegans in waiting. Most of us are flexitarians. We might have a meatless Monday, or whatever. You might have something that just promotes more balance in your life. So there's certain ones that I would avoid. There's one, and I can't think of what it's called offhand, that was WHYY did it. And he just basically talks about eating real food. Getting back to more real food. The less processed, the better kind of idea. I'll look it up and let you know. But there's one that I do like, because he just kind of talks about how weird we've gotten about food and the foods that we think are healthy, but really when you think about them, going back to stuff like beans and vegetables is going to be your best bet. Awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks,
so much.
Yeah.